Right now across America, people are quietly packing their bags, loading moving trucks, and heading to new states in search of a better life. The reasons vary. Some are chasing affordable housing, others are seeking lower taxes, safer streets, or even a warmer climate. But one thing is clear: large numbers of Americans are leaving certain states behind, and this trend shows no signs of slowing down. For decades, many of these states were considered the backbone of American life. They offered jobs, culture, and opportunity. Yet today, residents are deciding the trade-offs are no longer worth it. Whether it's the crushing cost of living, economic decline, or even the challenge of extreme weather, people are making difficult choices about where they want to spend the next chapter of their lives. Stay with me, because the states you'll see on this list might surprise you, and one of them is a place that was once called the American Dream itself. So, let's dive in. These are the states Americans are leaving the most. Number 10. Maryland. Maryland sits along the eastern seaboard, home to bustling suburbs, a strong federal workforce, and historic charm. For years, its proximity to Washington, D.C. made it one of the wealthiest states in terms of median income. But today, many residents are asking, is the price of staying in Maryland worth it anymore? Housing costs have climbed to some of the highest in the nation. In counties near D.C. like Montgomery and Prince George's, the median home price has surged far beyond what middle-class families can afford. Renters aren't spared either. Monthly rent continues to climb, and many retirees on fixed incomes are being squeezed out. Taxes add another burden. Maryland's state income tax, combined with county add-ons, makes it one of the higher tax states in the country. For working professionals, this means a smaller paycheck. For retirees, it means savings don't stretch as far as they would in the South or Midwest. Commuting is another challenge. Marylanders working in D.C. often spend hours in traffic or pay steep tolls for highways. The stress of long commutes paired with high costs is pushing many families to look south toward Virginia, or even farther into states like North Carolina. Culturally, Maryland remains attractive. The Chesapeake Bay, historic towns, and crab feasts are part of its unique identity. But when families weigh charm against affordability, more are choosing to leave. And that's why Maryland begins our list. Number 9, Louisiana. Louisiana is a state full of spirit. From the jazz rhythms of New Orleans to the Cajun flavors of Lafayette, it carries a cultural richness few states can match. But beneath the music and food lies a tough reality. Many residents are leaving Louisiana, and the reasons are difficult to ignore. One of the biggest challenges is the economy. Outside of the energy industry and tourism, job growth has been slow. Younger professionals often leave the state in search of better opportunities in Texas, Georgia, or Florida. This migration drains talent and leaves behind communities struggling to adapt. Another major factor is infrastructure. Roads, bridges, and public services in Louisiana are frequently rated among the lowest in the nation. This lack of investment frustrates residents and makes daily life harder, especially in rural parishes. Then there's the looming risk of natural disasters. Hurricanes and flooding have devastated parts of Louisiana repeatedly. While many locals are proud of their resilience, for some families, the cycle of rebuilding after storms has simply become too much. Insurance premiums are skyrocketing, and in some cases, insurers have even pulled out of the state. For homeowners, this makes staying not just expensive, but risky. Healthcare access also plays a role. In rural Louisiana, medical facilities are limited, and many older residents face long drives to reach doctors or specialists. For retirees, this is a serious concern. Despite all these challenges, Louisiana's culture continues to shine. The Mardi Gras parades, the food, the sense of community. Yet, more and more people are deciding that the challenges outweigh the charm, and they're choosing to leave for states that offer stability and affordability. Number 8, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a state of contrasts. On one side, you have thriving cities like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh with vibrant culture, history, and strong universities. On the other, You find vast rural landscapes and small towns that once thrived during the steel and coal booms, but are now struggling to hold on to residents. One of the biggest reasons people are leaving Pennsylvania is the job market. While Philadelphia has seen growth in medicine and education, many small towns across the state are still recovering from decades of industrial decline. Younger generations often don't see enough opportunity locally, so they head to places like Florida, Texas, or the Carolinas. Taxes are another push factor. Pennsylvania has one of the highest property tax burdens in the nation, which weighs heavily on retirees and middle-income families. Many homeowners, especially seniors, find themselves house rich but cash poor, and moving south allows them to cut costs dramatically. The weather also plays a role. Harsh winters, icy roads, and months of gray skies can feel draining, particularly for older adults who crave sunshine and mild climates. That's one reason so many Pennsylvanians retire in Florida, trading snow shovels for palm trees. Still, Pennsylvania remains culturally rich, from Amish country traditions to Philadelphia's historic landmarks. But the lure of lower taxes, warmer weather, and better job markets is strong. For many, it's simply time to move on. Number 7. Connecticut. Connecticut has long been known as one of the wealthiest states in the country, with picturesque small towns, a beautiful coastline, and proximity to both New York City and Boston. Yet behind that image of prosperity lies a sobering trend. More people are leaving Connecticut than moving in. The number one reason is cost. Housing prices in Connecticut are steep, particularly in desirable areas along the shoreline or near commuter routes into New York. Add in high property taxes, and even families with good incomes struggle to get ahead. Connecticut also ranks high in overall tax burden. State income taxes combined with local taxes create a financial pressure cooker. Many families realize they can maintain the same quality of life in states like Florida or North Carolina without the crushing costs. For retirees, Connecticut presents another challenge: affordability of health care and everyday living. While the state offers excellent hospitals and medical facilities, the expense of accessing them, coupled with high insurance premiums, makes retirement dollars stretch thin. Another factor is population stagnation. Younger people often leave for cities with more dynamic economies, which leaves an aging population behind. This slow demographic shift creates ripple effects in local communities, from fewer schools staying open to less economic vibrancy overall. Connecticut still has undeniable charm. Its fall foliage, historic towns, and coastal scenery are unmatched. But for many residents, that charm is no longer enough to justify the financial trade-offs, and so they are packing their bags for sunnier, more affordable destinations. Number 6. Hawaii. For many Americans, Hawaii feels like paradise. Golden beaches, tropical breezes, and a slower pace of life draws millions of tourists every year. But for the people who actually live there, paradise comes with a steep price tag, and that's why so many residents are making the difficult choice to leave. Hawaii has one of the highest costs of living in the entire nation. Everything, from groceries to gasoline, costs more because most goods have to be shipped thousands of miles across the Pacific. A gallon of milk or a dozen eggs might be double or even triple the price compared to the mainland. For families, this creates constant financial strain. Housing costs are another crushing burden. The median home price in Hawaii has soared far beyond the national average, often exceeding $1 million in some areas. Even modest condos are expensive, and many locals feel priced out by wealthier out-of-state buyers. Young families especially struggle, often working multiple jobs and still finding it impossible to buy a home. There's also the issue of wages. While the cost of living is sky high, wages in many industries remain relatively low. Tourism and service jobs dominate, but they don't provide the kind of income necessary to comfortably afford life on the islands. This mismatch forces many working-class families to leave for more affordable states like Nevada, Texas, or even the Pacific Northwest. Healthcare access is also limited on some islands, requiring residents to travel for certain treatments or specialists. For older adults, this can be a major challenge. Hawaii will always remain a dream destination for vacations, but for too many locals, living there has become unsustainable, and that's why so many are reluctantly leaving paradise behind. Number 5. Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a state rich with history, from the cobblestone streets of Boston to world-class universities like Harvard and MIT. It has long been a hub of innovation and education. But in recent years, more and more residents have been leaving, citing a mix of financial pressures and lifestyle concerns. The most pressing issue is housing. Massachusetts ranks among the most expensive states for real estate. In Boston, home prices and rents have skyrocketed, making it nearly impossible for younger professionals or middle-class families to plant roots. Many residents are choosing to leave the state entirely rather than continue renting indefinitely. Taxes are another factor. Between income taxes and property taxes, many families feel they are working harder but keeping less of what they earn. For retirees on fixed incomes, the burden is even heavier. They often look south, to states with lower or no income taxes, where retirement dollars stretch much further. Massachusetts winters also play a role. Long, cold, and snowy seasons can be physically and mentally draining, especially for older adults. Combine harsh weather with high heating costs, and it's no wonder that many head for warmer states. While Massachusetts has outstanding health care and strong job markets in education, healthcare, and technology, those benefits are often overshadowed by the soaring cost of living. Younger families seek affordability elsewhere, while retirees seek comfort and better tax advantages. The state's culture, sports pride, and academic prestige remain strong, but for many residents, the math just doesn't add up. That's why Massachusetts continues to see thousands of people move out each year. Number 4. New York. For generations, New York has been the ultimate symbol of opportunity. From the bustling streets of Manhattan to the quiet beauty of the Adirondacks, the state has something for everyone. But despite its legendary status, more and more New Yorkers are leaving, and the reasons are hard to ignore. The number one factor is cost of living. New York City in particular is one of the most expensive places to live in the entire world. Rent for even a small apartment can consume the majority of a paycheck, and home ownership is a dream that feels out of reach for most middle-class families. Even outside the city, in places like Long Island or Westchester County, housing costs are still sky-high. Taxes are another huge factor. New York has some of the highest income taxes in the nation, plus hefty property taxes. For many families and retirees, these bills eat away at savings and future plans. It's a heavy financial burden, especially when people realize they can move to states with no income tax and enjoy more disposable income. Safety and quality of life also play a role. Some residents are frustrated with rising crime rates in parts of New York City, while others are simply exhausted by the stress of city living. Long commutes, crowded subways, and constant noise can take a toll over time. Weather is another challenge. Harsh winters upstate and in the city mean high heating bills and months of snow and ice. For many older residents, the idea of retiring somewhere warmer, like Florida or the Carolinas, becomes very appealing. New York will always remain a cultural giant, with Broadway, Wall Street, and world-class museums. But for everyday families, the cost-benefit balance has tipped, and that's why New York continues to lose residents year after year. Number 3. Illinois. Home to Chicago is another state where residents are packing up and heading out. For decades, Chicago was a magnet for opportunity, with its iconic skyline, deep dish pizza, and thriving industries. But today, Illinois is among the top states people are leaving, and the reasons are piling up. One of the biggest issues is taxes. Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the nation, and residents are feeling the squeeze. Families often find themselves paying thousands of dollars each year just in property taxes, on top of other state and local taxes. For many, it's simply unsustainable. Economic concerns are another factor. While Chicago still has strong industries, the state as a whole has struggled with budget deficits, pension crises, and slow job growth outside major cities. This creates uncertainty and discourages younger people from staying long term. Crime is also a serious concern, particularly in Chicago. While many neighborhoods are safe and vibrant, the city has faced ongoing struggles with violence. This has led some families to seek safer, more stable environments in other states. Weather again plays its part. Brutal winters with heavy snow and freezing winds make daily life tough, especially for seniors. Combined with the financial stress, the climate adds another reason to leave. Healthcare access is generally strong in Chicago, but in rural Illinois, hospitals have closed or downsized, leaving some residents with fewer options. For an aging population, this makes life outside the big city even more difficult. Despite its deep culture, sports pride, and central role in American history, Illinois is experiencing an exodus. People are leaving for places like Indiana, Texas, and Florida, where taxes are lower, housing is more affordable, and opportunities feel brighter. Number 2, California. For decades, California represented the American dream, the beaches of Los Angeles, the tech giants of Silicon Valley, and the farmlands of the Central Valley all combined to make it one of the most dynamic states in the country. But today, California is also one of the top states people are leaving, and the reasons are impossible to ignore. The cost of living is the number one issue. California consistently ranks among the most expensive states for housing. In places like San Francisco, the median home price is well over $1 million, while even modest homes in Los Angeles often cost more than $500,000. Renters fare no better, with average rents climbing higher than in almost any other state. For middle-class families and retirees, the math simply doesn't work anymore. Taxes also play a big role. California has one of the highest income tax rates in the nation, and combined with property taxes, the financial burden is staggering. Many residents realize they could cut their tax bills dramatically by moving to states like Nevada, Texas, or Arizona. Wildfires and droughts are another concern. Each year, devastating fires destroy homes and communities, while water shortages make daily life more challenging. Insurance premiums have skyrocketed, and in some areas, companies have even stopped offering coverage. While California remains an economic powerhouse with Hollywood, agriculture, and tech, the gap between the wealthy and the average family is wider than ever. Many are deciding that the sunshine isn't worth the financial stress, and they're seeking a new life in states that offer affordability and security. Number 1, New Jersey. Topping the list is New Jersey, a state with proximity to New York City and Philadelphia, beautiful shorelines, and diverse communities. But despite its many strengths, New Jersey is losing residents faster than almost any other state. The biggest reason? Taxes. New Jersey has some of the highest property taxes in the entire country. For many homeowners, annual tax bills are staggering, often tens of thousands of dollars. Combine that with high state income taxes and sales taxes, and the financial pressure becomes overwhelming. Housing costs add to the struggle. While not as high as New York City, home prices in New Jersey are still well above the national average, especially in commuter towns. Families quickly realize they can find more affordable housing with lower taxes by moving just a few states away. Another factor is commuting. Many residents work in New York City, which means long hours on trains, buses, or highways. The stress and expense of commuting wears people down over time. Weather also plays a role. Harsh winters, heavy snow, and high heating bills add another layer of difficulty, especially for retirees. That's why so many choose to relocate to states like Florida, the Carolinas, or Arizona, where winters are mild and expenses are lower. Despite its reputation for great food, culture, and tight-knit communities, New Jersey's high costs make it unsustainable for many families. And that's why it sits at number 1 on our list of states Americans are leaving. So there you have it. The 10 states Americans are leaving the most right now. From the high costs of New Jersey and California to the economic challenges of Louisiana and Illinois, the story is the same. People are looking for better opportunities, lower taxes, and more affordable living. But here's the real question. If so many Americans are leaving these states, where exactly are they going? The answer might surprise you, and that's exactly what we'll explore in an upcoming video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel for more insights on where Americans are moving, how the cost of living is changing, and what that means for your future.